I might go then, Felix, if you're still frantically looking for a topic.
I think I've got one.
Google, tell me.
Alright, well, you can bring it home then.
Oh, shit.
I'm not sure. Do you guys know that Topher Grace, star of that 70s show?
Venom, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. He's in lots of other stuff.
That clicked a lot.
Venom.
Yeah.
I knew him from that 70s show.
And The Predator as
But
well.
basically, he took the prequel Star Wars movies and he edited them into like one big movie. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it. He made like a supercut version.
Yeah.
Which apparently is like way better than the prequels. Like he basically trims the fat and he gets it down to like...
Oh, so
I
it's
think
not
like
just
a 2 hour
removing the credits and putting it all at the end type deal.
No, he cuts out like a lot of like some of the crappy like lovey-dovey stuff and like
think he cuts out all of Jar Jar
I think he
Binks.
cuts out all of the first movie. I think it starts with Qui-Gon dying
might,
and then
yeah.
and it's like Anakin like, what happens to me? And Obi-Wan's like, I'll train you. And then it cuts to like Attack of the Clones. I think
You might be right, yeah.
it might be online somewhere. I've not seen it. I just think that's like a really cool idea. So basically, my topic is, what other trilogies or franchises do you think that could benefit from a supercut?
Can I
my
start
topic?
with this one?
Yeah, it's being
My go-to that I actually kind of want to take a crack at is the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was mine.
Because I would cut out like all the third one, and then I would have Bilbo go unconscious, and then that's it, just like the book. Like you don't see the fight because all the special effects look weird in the fight. Though.
Yeah, they are weird. Yeah.
I don't know, because I think the first Hobbit.
Billy Connolly's...
that's
a
a bit.
bit-
You can't miss that.
I mean,
part.
no,
you cut that in.
you easily
I like
can.
that though.
Slow it down.
Are you
double
kidding?
it.
The uncanny, that's got
One
like
thing that
uncanny
stuck
valley
with me
shit.
through
I
the
know
whole
it's
Hobbit.
weird, but
It's
cool at the
weird,
same
but I
time.
kind of liked it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, Billy Connolly.
I think I liked it because it was.
Well,
You
I'm
know what
alone.
they were missing?
I think the first Hobbit is perfect in my opinion.
That's
And
a
I
really
don't
interesting
think-
thing to say.
And everyone's like, the second one's better, Jack. You're wrong. I'm like, no. The second one's good because of Smaug and the barrel scene. The rest is like kind of fillery stuff. I like the first
barrel
one's,
scene, yeah.
Is a
you
lot
don't
of filler
think kind
too.
of slow?
No.
Where's
Some
the first
some
one
days I
end
do,
in
but
the Goblin?
some days
When
I
you've
do.
got
but
three
for the most
movies
part, I
for a
like it.
tiny book, I think it's allowed to be as slow as it wants. But
But-
I haven't actually read the book. I've played I've played the games and watched the movies. To me, it seems
games?
Yeah, they had like old like PlayStation Hobbit.
Oh, the Hobbit ones.
It was all fun. Like
I've read the book
Like
many
that?
times.
no, just like the Hobbit.
The book's great.
The book is great.
Which
yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, oh, like the Hobbit's like more kiddie. I'm like, well, that's like the book. I didn't mind that it was a bit more lighthearted. I thought, but a lot of people I think had a more of a
It was such a
guttural
precursor
reaction.
to Lord of the Rings.
But yeah, it
was
didn't know
like
what
this-
it could be really.
It's had this huge potential, which was realised, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, not to focus on the Hobbit though. Are there any other sort of trilogies you think that could
Uh,
deserve a supercut? Like maybe where they fell flat. Spider-Man just cut out the third
Where
movie
they
or
fell
something.
I
whole
would-
dance
I wanna-
sequence.
One day we're going to do a podcast where we argue about Spider-Man because I like Sam Raimi and I think that trilogy has a lot going for it that I don't know.
I kind of agree. I mean, I like 2, but I don't like 3.
Well, what about Pirates of the Caribbean? Would you cut that down? or-
That's a good idea.
yeah.
That's because there's 5 or 6
There's
movies
5
now.
They're all
They could
they're all
probably make
like
it one
2
busy-
hours 40 minutes.
Oh,
Like,
to be
they could
fair-
probably do it with some trimming.
What about the
movies?
first?
That seems-
the
The
first
first one
movie
is
specifically?
standalone.
though,
Don't touch
that's
the first
almost
one. Yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
right?
when you say
Like
Pirates of the
2 and
Caribbean,
5.
I try to ignore the last two. I mean, it was all about Will Turner. Like they've made it about Jack Sparrow now, but the first 3 there, the journey there, that's
Yeah.
sort
Will
of
Turner.
when you say Pirates of the Caribbean, that's what I think.
That's an interesting
Not-
point. It
not the
is
next
really
2.
Will Turner and Elizabeth Swan's
Yeah,
story. It
definitely,
starts
yeah.
with those 2 characters, and then they do that classic thing. They do. It's like, oh, everyone likes the side
Yeah,
character.
everyone- yeah.
Let's make a
Everyone
movie.
loves him.
Let's make Finding Dory
He's-
and like
and- yeah.
all
Or
that
the
stuff.
Minions movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't
And now
seen
he
the
shades.
latest one, but while 4 was great,
Yeah.
it did lack
Wait, I'm
a
sorry.
lot.
You liked 4?
Which
For
that was
what? No, for a Jack
Strange-
Sparrow,
what was
yeah,
that?
it's as great as it could be.
Stranger Tides.
It,
Oh.
yeah,
I don't
it
think
did
it was-
miss a lot
All
of.
I remember is Mermaids. That movie didn't have a lot of impact on me. I don't think.
I think it was kind of sloppy. Like they were just like, "Oh, we've made a
Oh
trilogy.
yeah,
it was
it's a
great.
movie about Jack Sparrow.
Let's make one more, but
Sorry.
with every other
I
like
how
pirate
quick
myth that we've
Felix is on
forgotten."
the type.
It's like Star Wars. It's about Luke and blah blah, and then we'll go off on a tangent and make it about his third cousin he didn't know about off in some planet nowhere. Because he's a likable guy. Like if you take the core, which was the Elizabeth Swann, the Will Turner, they
The
could have gone on.
romance,
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the 5th one. Didn't they come back?
The 5th one.
For a cameo,
Dead Man.
It was a cameo. Yeah.
It was a cameo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, his son is a. Well, can I spoiler alert? I don't know.
I don't
His
know.
son.
I think we got that
watch
from the
it.
trailer.
His son is like the main.
I think we got. I think we got more than enough of that from the trailer. I figured.
And
that out.
wait, can I give you another spoiler, or do you not want it? Have you guys? Any of you
I
seen
don't-
the 5th one?
No.
I was so drunk watching the fifth one. I can remember a few of the key
Is that the
points.
spoiler?
No, the spoiler is the main girl, the
skin
love
chick.
interest for the skin
Oh, the
chick,
horologist.
Effie. Yeah, the horologist.
I love that one.
As in horror, as in like stars. Horror is
No,
in
it's
time.
time or something. Yeah.
The horologist is Barbossa's daughter.
Mm.
Yeah,
Is that like a
huge spoiler.
twist at the end or something? Or?
Could you imagine getting in bed with
So
that?
is it going to be like Pirates 6?
Oh, I don't know.
Of course there is, mate.
They'll probably just keep
You smell
going.
that? It's money.
Crossover. Pirates Transformers crossover.
Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay.
Pirate ship. Pirate ship.
Oh,
Transformers.
goes to
Oh, I can
shit.
see it happening.
Transformers Pirates Caribbean crossover.
That would be sick.
No, that's my answer. Actually, if I was going to
That's
trim
how they
down a
could revive
trilogy,
both
it
of
would
them.
be Transformers. Yeah, make that into one good film.
I wouldn't. Oh, I wouldn't
Well, I
so
was
much
gonna say
as
The
chop
Hobbit.
half of it out. I'd fix the editing. Like, you know, the first one, everyone
Yeah, I
says
would
the best
edit
one.
out
No, but
most of the film.
no, I mean, you know, you'd have a Transformer fighting another one, and then it, you know, cut to some thing of Josh Duhamel, that's how
Duhamel,
yeah,
Yeah.
running away, and then just like a shitty explosion in the background. No robots or anything that are clearly there fighting.
Like 2 or 3 pixels.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you
I
know
feel like you
in the
cut out-
background.
It's so
Like,
bad.
It'll show the two Transformers going for their absolute life, and then cut to a soldier running, and then like a shitty hand grenade in the background. No robots or and like the,
want
the
robots.
Scorpion bot getting shot by the gunship. Like you
I
know,
love
in
that
one
scene.
in one part of it,
Which
it's got
movie is that
the
in?
Scorpion writhing,
First
boom, 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 and then the second one, it's just shitty sand. And,
In the first one?
Yeah, because you think
Yeah.
well, that's like to help. That was
Well,
on
I
purpose,
keep
so
doing
to
that.
make you think that it's like it's dead, that it's gone.
yeah,
So
but
that's
the rest
why-
of the movie
it's-
was like that. It'd be, you know, oh, we're short on money. Let's just explosions and no robots.
So, yeah, okay.
They'll take it, and
Man,
we
those
did.
movies will blur
Yeah, we-
together for
we
me.
fucking-
I do like
There's
the
been way too
idea.
many of them.
That was his first one. That
Have
was
you
like
guys
your
even
favorite
seen the
scene
new
from
one yet?
Transformers 1, wasn't it?
I like the Scorpion
Scorpion.
scene a lot because just of the music and just like a lot of the way it's shot. And stuff
I think
like
it's
that.
a
Oh,
good
the music.
scene, yeah.
I do like the idea that you just cut out all the people from Transformers and just
Make it a
it's called
Transformers
Transformers,
movie.
just Transformers.
Well, you could cut out most of the wikis.
Yeah,
just have like that scene of like them like crashing onto the earth and then just cut to the fight scene and then that's it.
Have you guys all seen the new one?
No.
Nah.
No,
I've
I
seen
couldn't bring
snippets.
myself.
How am I the only one who's seen it? I was so against watching it.
Because you like mediocre films.
I used to work.
I hate. I
You
don't
have bad
I
taste
hate-
in movies, that's why.
Generally, I was working, so like I was protected. In
I've
one
seen
way.
snippets,
but
You
like
were like
after
so excited. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
here we go.
after the last one, where
I'd
it's
still
just
go see. If you want to see it, I'd still
Is
go
it
see
still
it.
out?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Are you
Is it?
kidding? This
I don't
out for
think
fucking
so.
long
Nah.
time then. There's
Surely
no way
not.
that it's
I like
lasted that
Mark
long.
Wahlberg, but he's not doing good things for me right now. But you know,
I
with
I
the,
love going to movies. I don't know why I haven't seen
With
like
the,
number 5 of either.
what was
of
the
those.
fourth one? The dinosaur one, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, like I love.
Wait, no,
I love
no,
Beast
number
Wars.
3,
I
that
love,
was number
oh,
3.
Was it?
Yeah,
No,
wasn't it?
No.
it's four.
Number
Because
4.
Reed
Mark
was Dark
Wahlberg,
Side
And
of
it's
the
all
Moon.
like,
Wahlberg
we
was
have
number
these
4.
supreme weapons, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then we have a man-sized sword that turns into a gun that are meant for giant robots that
Yes.
are, you know, what are they, like throwing knife guns to them? Or is it just convenient that Mark Wahlberg can pick up an assault rifle sword and start fighting?
Well, he's the last night.
Oh.
I think.
Ooh.
The last night.
Yeah,
You can do anything.
there's a lot of things that we could... Alright,
Let's-
so what were we actually talking about? The trilogy,
I don't know.
Supercut.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
oh.
Supercuts.
I'd love to see that for like a whole bunch of.
What about Harry
movies.
Potter?
Just supercut so that I didn't have to sit through it.
Oh, what would you do?
What about Mad Max?
What do you mean?
What
The
that?
new
What?
one?
No,
It'd be like the
original
nine,
three.
the 19.
The original 3, yeah.
Isn't there
I've not
original
seen
2?
that.
Well, they could probably.
I don't know if
trim
you
it
could.
down.
I don't know if
But
you could
I like
fix
Harry
that
Potter.
transition between 1 and 2 so very good. Though. Like, it goes from I'm the cop who's getting
Talk up to
revenge.
the mic.
I'm the cop who's getting revenge for my family, and then I'm, the world's running out of fuel. The world it's
Running
a barren
out of water,
running out of water. Barren wasteland. Apocalypse now.
It's a very
I-
jarring transition between
Yeah,
those
it
films.
Well, I
was
feel like people
huge.
get. I was gonna say people get mad that Harry Potter cuts out a lot of stuff already, and you want to cut it down more.
No, I just wanted to throw it out. I saw the poster there.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what else can
I
we
like the
cut
I
out?
wanna
the
throw
book
it
just
out.
like, like just ripping pages.
No, I
out.
would make Harry Potter longer, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I would watch.
Oh no!
Well, I mean,
actually,
let's go. Oh, like,
I cut
guess you
from
can't do
the
that. Unless you
first
film
or
all
second
scenes.
movie to like each of the Horcrux doodads, and then just killing him at the end because they could have done it from the beginning. They had everything they needed.
But they,
But they just decided to drag it on for 7 years and then make this wand ownership thing arbitrary in the last movie. Like,
Because he didn't want to kill Harry Potter.
No, I think most of the things.
I mean,
in there
I haven't
make
read all the
sense.
books.
Well, see, your
But-
argument keeps falling down.
But to anyone who
I
hasn't
hate
read
how
the
they
books,
changed this bit that I haven't read.
no, but to anyone that hasn't read the
it was
books,
his
like,
years of high school,
as an
I think,
outsider
too.
from that point, I just see. Wait till the last year of school. Now, wand ownership's a thing. We'll ignore it all the way up to this point, and now it's just a thing. And Deathly Hallows. How don't you know about that? You pleb.
That's what
and
annoyed
then
me
kill
actually
him.
when I first read that book. It's like, hey, let's introduce something that's never been part of it before, really. Like, and they do that in movies a lot, though. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
Harry Potter. They'll introduce like something like at the end.
It's
like,
almost like a Deus Ex Machina crossed with like a
something, yeah. Well, it's like in Transformers too. It's like I put that. It's like oh no, there's a huge Constructicon Transformer. It's like, hey, U.S. Navy, use the railgun.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, dead. And then they're like, that's great. And then it's like, oh no, Megatron. It's like, can we use what you just used? Nah, let's fight instead.
And every time Optimus dies, they're like, use the Allspark.
We only had
already
one
used
bullet.
it.
Yeah.
Use the other Allspark.
There's just like always something.
Everyone keeps coming back.
Yeah, there's always just like something else.
who's out of Energon? Plug him in the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
That's the next one. They're all out of cube.
But just make them solar powered. They're robots. Come on, you can't refute that.
The new Tesla Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Elon
The main
Musk.
guy's Elon Musk, and then
Like
Mark
his
Wahlberg's
avatar
next
suit
thing.
thing. I like that. I'll watch
And
that.
he's Titan, yeah.
Alright.
I can't think of
anything
another
else.
trilogy, yeah. But
We
like,
should come
I
with a list of
I
trilogies.
do like where you
I
got.
should have done more.
Well, I was
research.
going to say X-Men, but I don't think I would cut that down either. I like the X-Men.
What about
Oh.
the most recent ones though?
What with the young cast?
It'd be hard. They're trying to
Apocalypse.
they're doing the whole
Yeah, I would-
new
Days of
dimension
Future
time
Past
travel
and,
stuff
I would
to reimagine
probably
it.
cut that into no films. I would just forget they exist.
I do
I
like
think-
the idea of Days of
I
Future
think
Past
they missed a
mixing
step
things,
there
making
between
me-
3 and the. It is Days of Future Past, is it? No.
The
Which one?
Where
Is
they
it?
send Logan back in time. How it's all
that's
doom
Days
and
of
gloom.
Future
Yes.
Past. Yeah.
I think they missed a step between the end of 3 and that one.
So they got to fill in a bit.
Well, and
Yeah,
then there's
I mean-
also
As opposed to-
Wolverine 2, the one in Japan where he like
Oh,
loses
that
his
was
claws.
I hated.
and then,
I hated that so much.
Why?
Oh, I just like originally I fell asleep and I went, okay, I've missed something. You know, I shouldn't have fallen asleep, but I
You
come
guys are
back and
bad
then
as
it's just
each
like
other.
the only thing that can beat adamantium's adamantium, unless it's against adamantium, and then adamantium, and then suit of adamantium, and then and you know, it cuts off his claws.
We're
They're
throwing
back now.
adamantium at the wall.
Yeah,
people,
yeah, you know, and then it's back, and then it's that's cool. Instead of
I enjoyed it, I think, for the most part, just because it was so different. Like, it was in Japan and, like, I like in samurais and stuff like that. It was just, like, a really
I enjoyed it
oddly
for the most
different... It was
part.
a really different sort of superhero
I think
movie.
in the context of the franchise, though, it didn't link. I
Yeah.
think there were a lot of.
I think they
Oh,
just... Again, I
yeah.
think they just wanted to make a fun Wolverine movie, and I think in some parts they succeeded. but
yeah,
other
in
parts
some
maybe not.
parts. I don't know. I
But-
thought, yeah.
oh, yeah, my issue, there's that sort of continuity between 3 and Days of Future Past.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's suddenly like, you know, they have the incident on the island, they defeat Phoenix and try to make everything all good again, and then suddenly super suits, everyone's getting hunted, killed.
Yeah. Well, I think Days of Future Past is set a
But it
few
had, like, an-
years
after the-
Yeah, it was like an
story.
alternate future, but it was also like an alternate past because they went back to
It
stop
could be
Trials.
Yeah,
very
but-
standalone. It was it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like,
But
if they're going to have an
no,
alternate
it's not.
future, like,
And,
And then-
Sophie Turner now's got her own movie, the Dark Phoenix thing. I'm
What?
not excited for that.
Didn't even know about it.
but
We'll wait and see.
I don't
yeah, I
know.
think
yeah,
there was
only
a
next
lack
year.
of it there, and then with Logan as well. I mean, you know, that was its own thing, fine. But if they were doing the Wolverine sort of trilogy to lead up to Logan, I think they failed there. But if Logan was always the end goal and the Wolverine movies were the way to it,
That is the most interesting trilogy, is this Wolverine film. 'Cause
Yeah.
They always ship them together in, like, DVD like collections. It's like the Wolverine
Wow.
trilogy. It's like
I would've
every
saw that.
film is
Yeah.
trying to be like, it's trying to like set itself apart from those other ones. Like Origins
Yeah.
came out, and it was kind of turd, and then the next
And
one
there
was
was-
like, where it's like, yeah, we're ignoring all that stuff. We're gonna make like Wolverine. It's just about Wolverine. It's not got any of these other characters in it. And then like it was kind of like just okay, I think. And then like Logan's like, yeah, like forget everything. Like I don't know. It's like they're all just
Because I
trying
did
to
a
like,
review
get away
for the
from
new
it.
It is
Wolverine
very
film.
scary.
They're all trying to
I
get
called
away,
it
and
the
then
third
they just like
trilogy.
lump them together in a
And
DVD.
Jack's like, it's not even a trilogy, really. I mean,
No.
well, it's hard to think of it like that. Though.
It is hard because they're not really connected to each other that much.
Quite separated, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to think of like a trilogy, let alone like a trilogy that like has like it's like riddled with bad scenes that you want to cut out, I guess.
I think The Hobbit's a really good example.
I think The Hobbit's the best one I can
bad
come to.
scenes, but I just think it's too long.
I do. I mean, when there were like 2 films, I was like, that's fine. That sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the first, and then they were like, oh, we might make it 3.
But you're also the first guy to get the extended editions and watch them through and through.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Return
right?
of
I'm
the
a Lord
King.
of the Rings nerd.
Return of
okay?
the King, I could watch all, was it 4.5, 5 hours? I do it every, however many months. It's the greatest thing ever. The battles, like, they set the standard for anything to come after it.
I only saw the extended editions, like, quite recently, I think in the last couple of years, and I'm like, oh, that's so good, yeah. Like, I've loved Lord of the Rings. I've not seen the extended editions of The Hobbit.
Though.
They are. My girlfriend's not seen Lord of the Rings, and she's, like, against it, and I was like, I really want you to just sit down and try and, like, I think if I can get you into this world, I was like, I think you'll love it. And she's like, you're not gonna make me watch like
5 hours.
the long versions, are you? I'm like, you bet you're fucking. Of course we are. That's like a whole Saturday. It's like 4.5 hours, whatever it is. Like you watch them, and you're like, but boy, what? It's like it's been an hour and a half. It's like they're only at Rivendell. Yeah. Oh my god, come on now.
But
you have to really be in the mood for it. Yeah.
Oh. They can hate on it.
You get in the mood.
They'll
the
say
mood
it's
is when
too
you
long,
start.
and they'll spend that same amount of time doing mundane other stuff. Or
see, this is my thing though. Like the Lord of the Rings, there's a lot of dramatic tension in the First Fellowship. Like getting to Rivendell is a huge struggle for those hobbits, right?
Yeah.
You guys agree? Like the Knight Rider things,
takes even longer in the book.
I
couldn't even get through the books.
Well, they broke their carrots when they fell down.
Yeah, but in The Hobbit, like, there's not the same. Not for me. There's not the same dramatic tension. Like, it's like 2 hours through the film. The only fight scene you've seen is a flashback, and all they've done is like hike.
But are you doing that from a personal relationship standpoint,
but
or
not
the
a
fact
battle?
that
I guess.
Like,
I don't know.
It's what I said though. It's more lighthearted. I think to be more like the book because it is a children's book.
Lighthearted, but it was kind of adult as well. Like it was dragged out and it was deep in the history and the myths and the songs and the legends and.
Well, what angle
I don't think it balanced it very well.
I realize I'm alone, but I love the first one so much.
What angle are you coming from there? Because in the Fellowship, you had 4 hobbits of no knowledge of the outside world or experience or anything, just best friends. Sort of making their way, whatever, with like no help. Whereas in The Hobbit, he's got a small army of dwarves and a wizard.
But that's my thing.
There might have been tensions between them. But
I see what you're saying.
Some of them don't even have lines.
There's tension because the hobbits don't know anything, whereas there's probably less tension because you've got like all these like tough dwarves and a wizard.
He's tagging along for the ride. He's not like he's.
But on so many levels, that didn't.
Dwalin.
To me, that didn't work on like a lot of levels, and they did well to do as well as they did.
Can you name all the hobbits?
Dwalin, Balin, Biffa, Boffa, Bomber, Killy, and Philly,
Dozy.
No, Biffy,
Sleepy.
What was it? Boffa.
Grumpy.
I said that already.
No,
Dwalin and you said
Biffa,
Dwalin,
Boffa, Bomber. I started with that.
What's Gimli's dad?
Gloin,
Rudolph,
Gloin and Gloin.
Oin and Gloin.
Yeah, and I think that's all of them.
And Thorin.
Thorin Oakenshield.
I feel like that was a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much all of them.
Happy,
Sneezy.
Yeah.
Grumpy.
But there was a lot of them, and they are all like very similar characters.
Oh yeah.
No. Bleep. Whereas the Lord of the Rings was so much better at that. There was like 9, and there was like a wizard and a dwarf.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
So much more interesting to watch.
But my gripe with The Hobbit is there was too much CGI. Like
so uncomfortable.
there was a lot of physical sets in the original movies, and that was great. Like they built Minas Tirith and
No, there was more of a
Helm's Deep. Like they physically carved that out of a mountain, and then this one, like the one clip that sticks with me is I was on Facebook, like a behind the scenes thing with Thorin, and he goes, "Come, I'm going to show you the great forges of."
Oh yeah,
of Erebor.
This is
comes around. It's
a
a giant like warehouse. It's just green screens. It's just green, and then a couple of blocks.
Ian McKellen cried filming it. He was like, "I didn't sign up for this because he wasn't allowed to act with anyone else. They were all shorter than him." Like all the scenes with the dwarves,
that was all
just
CGI.
They were
edited in.
No, that's not true.
That's true. In the Hobbit films,
I've seen the behind the scenes for the table scene where they had to trick the perspectives of the.
That scene alone is amazing. The way they do all the perspectives.
But I can imagine for the rest of
the Rings, I don't know.
Was the Hobbit?
Well, the dwarves
in Lord of the Rings they had.
I think in Lord of the Rings they did it better. Put it that way.
Yeah.
He had genuine complaints about the fact that he wasn't acting with human people for a lot of the time.
Well, I know Saruman. he acted by himself, but that's because Christopher Lee was too old to fly to New Zealand, or too frail and sick.
He was old, yeah.
They
he
filmed
was
his stuff on a blue screen in London because they were like too worried about his health to come fly him all the way to
he was
New
in
Zealand.
his 80s,
He's so cool
not
though. The
like
only
when
man in that whole cast who's met J.R. Tolkien. How cool is that?
He
That is
was the one that
cool.
told them how to pronounce and like to speak all the.
He was the one who told him what it sounded like to get stabbed in the back because he fought like in the trenches of World War II or something. Christopher Lee is a badass.
Yeah.
He was making metal albums till the day he
Yeah,
died.
he
I love that
was.
man.
Anyway, great topic.
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I'll give
So,
it a crack then. I'll try and edit the Hobbits
wait.
down.
Yeah,
we have
dude.
Felix's
Yeah, I'll watch
topic?
that.
No, we haven't
No.
had my topic.
Right.
Felix, we're up to Felix.
All right,
bring it
Take it
home.
away.